Have you ever wondered what really goes on behind the scenes of your favorite app? Well, today, we're pulling back the curtain on the software development lifecycle, or SDLC for short. It's kind of like the hidden blueprint that turns a simple idea into the software you use every single day.
So how does it all happen? How does a little spark of an idea transform into a complex, reliable piece of software? Is it just a flash of genius? A bunch of coders working frantically through the night, fueled by pizza and caffeine?
Well, the short answer is nope. It's definitely not magic. And it's not just about frantic coding either. The best software isn't built on luck. It's built on a plan, a structured, deliberate, and really powerful process.
Okay, so what is this blueprint? This structured plan is what we call the software development lifecycle. Let's break down what that actually means right now.
So at its core, the SDLC is a systematic process. I really want you to lock in on three key things here: high quality, predictable time, and predictable budget, right? Those are the pillars the entire process is built to protect. It's all about taking the chaos out of creation.
At its heart, the SDLC is actually a pretty simple cycle. You plan, you design, and then you develop. Now, the most important thing to get here is that it's not just about writing code. That's only one piece of the puzzle. It's this repeatable loop, and it's all focused on one main goal: making sure the final product actually solves the real problem for the client.
To really appreciate why the SDLC is such a big deal, we've got to go back in time a little. We need to understand the problem it was originally created to solve. So here it is, its origin story. A journey from total chaos to structured creation. Okay, so picture it. It's the mid-1960s. Software is getting way more complex. We're talking huge companies building massive systems, and you know what? A lot of projects were failing badly. They desperately needed a better way to manage the whole process. So the first SDLC models were born out of that necessity. But look at this timeline. It hasn't stood still. It has constantly evolved to become way more flexible and adaptable. And this slide really nails that evolution. The original approach was called the waterfall method, and it was super rigid. Think of it like building with concrete. You had to finish one step completely before you could even think about starting the next. There was no easy way to go back. Can you imagine designing a car engine for a year only to find out it's too big for the car's body that you already built? That's the kind of expensive mess waterfall could create. Today's iterative methods, they're the complete opposite. They're built on these flexible cycles, which let teams adapt and respond to new info or changing client needs as they come up.
All right, so we know what it is and where it came from, but why should you actually care? What's the real payoff of using a structured plan like the SDLC? Let's dive into the key benefits. We're going to walk through 5 huge benefits, which you can see right here. From creating a clear process all the way to allowing for adaptation, these are the core reasons why pretty much every professional development team on the planet relies on some form of the SDLC. So let's look at each one.
First, and this one's maybe the most important, it gives everyone a clear process. Instead of some chaotic, let's just make it up as we go approach, the team has a clear roadmap from start to finish. That alone dramatically improves efficiency and, you guessed it, reduces the risk of the whole project just falling apart. Second, communication. This is a big one. Because the SDLC has these well-defined phases, everyone, we're talking clients, stakeholders, the dev team, they all share a common understanding of where the project is and what's coming next. It basically creates a shared language for the entire team. And that leads right into our third benefit: defined roles. When everyone on the team knows exactly which piece of the puzzle is theirs to solve, you get way less confusion, less conflict, and way less wasted time. It just makes the team itself a much more effective unit.
Now, this benefit is huge. Seriously, early problem solving. The SDLC forces you to spot potential issues way back in the planning and design phases. Think about it. Finding a flaw on a blueprint is cheap to fix. You just use an eraser. But finding that same flaw after the building's been constructed, or in our case, after thousands of lines of code have been written, well, that gets incredibly expensive and time-consuming to fix.
And finally, we circle right back to that modern strength we were talking about: adaptable iteration. Look, the real world isn't static. Project requirements change all the time. A modern SDLC totally embraces this. It allows the team to cycle back, bring in new ideas, and adjust course without having to scrap the entire project and start over from scratch. It's a game changer. So, after everything we've talked about, why does the concept from the 1960s still matter so much in today's super fast-paced tech world? Well, it all boils down to one simple, really powerful principle. This quote really just says it all.
Following the SDLC minimizes risks and costs. At the end of the day, that is the bottom line. It isn't about bureaucracy or filling out forms. It's about successfully delivering a high-quality product on time and on budget. It's the framework that makes innovation both repeatable and reliable.
So, as we've seen, the SDLC isn't just some technical process for coders. It's a universal framework for turning ambitious ideas into reality in a predictable, successful way. Which, leaves us with one final question for you. Now that you know the blueprint for success, what are you going to build next?